My father is still trying his best to salvage the situation. He's trying to talk some sense into my uncles. However, I don't think it's working. Natasha shook her head. Her father was a good man. Too good to a fault, in fact. He was a sentimental person and kept making compromises. All because he didn't want to antagonize his brothers. As the feud continued, the family was slowly falling apart. Looks like your father still has his concerns. However, he must be decisive and ruthless to resolve the issue, Dustin advised. It was a good thing that he respected the relationship with his brothers. However, the situation would only worsen if he kept giving in. I hope that my father comes to this realization soon, Natasha said with a complicated expression. She could turn the tide in her father's favor. The only problem was that her father didn't want to fight. Oh, and Natasha suddenly remembered something and took out an exquisite sachet from her bag. She gave it to Dustin. It's your birthday tomorrow, and this is a gift from my father. Please give him my thanks. Dustin flashed her a smile. Open it and take a look. Natasha gave him a look. Now. After gaining her approval, Dustin untied the sachet slowly. From inside, he took out a carefully preserved piece of parchment. He unfurled the parchment and saw a mysterious but incomplete drawing on it. Natasha, what's this? Dustin was a little astounded. This is the Harmon family heirloom, the treasure map. This is also what Tyler Grant is after. Now, my father has gifted it to you. Natasha smiled. What? The family treasure map? Dustin was stunned and immediately waved his hands. No way, this is too much. I can't accept this. The Harmon family treasure was a gold mine, and it could potentially alter the course of events. The value of this treasure map was unimaginable. It's just an incomplete piece of the original treasure map. My father sees no point in keeping it. He thought it'd be better to give it to you. You might have a better chance at finding the other missing pieces. Natasha smiled. Natasha, this is your family heirloom. How could I possibly accept it? Dustin shook his head again. My father has thought long and hard about it before giving it to you. Natasha explained, with his current ability, he wouldn't be able to keep this map safe for long. Tyler might steal it from him. Instead of losing the treasured map to an overly ambitious person, he wanted to give it to someone who is reliable to safeguard this map. Well, Dustin hesitated. Hector saw the treasure map as something more important than his life. Giving him the map meant that Hector had full confidence in him. Simultaneously, Dustin felt a heavy burden on him. That's enough. Please don't refuse the gift. This is a sincere gift from my father. Just accept it. It might be useful to you in the future. Natasha smiled as she shoved the map into Dustin's hands. All right then. I'll keep it safe on behalf of your father. I'll return it to him when the Harmon family is at peace again. Dustin finally nodded. Hector gave him the treasure map because he trusted him. He also hoped that the treasure map would be used for the benefit of others. It was night. Tyler was playing chess alone in his study in the Grants' mansion. Trent and Kate stood beside him meekly. They didn't dare to make any noise, and they appeared pitiful. When they were captured by the Dark Panther cavalry, they were released in just 2 days. From what they could deduce, Tyler must have convinced the Scarlet Warrior to let them go. This was enough to prove that they had placed their loyalty on the right person. Our engagement is tomorrow. Is everything ready? Tyler finally spoke after finishing 1 round of chess. Well, Trent's expression froze when he heard that, and he instinctively looked at his daughter. Tyler, we almost succeeded. But Dustin Reese, that bastard, ruined our plan and captured us. Kate cursed as she explained. That's enough. I don't want to hear excuses. Tyler threw them an icy glance. He continued, I want to see results, not the process. According to our deal, you'll get me the treasure map, and I'll give you my support to rise to power. After that, we'll unite our families by marriage and achieve greatness together. I've held up my end of the promise. What about you? Tyler, we tried our best. Could you please give us a few more days? I promise I'll get the treasure map for you, Trent said confidently. That's right, Tyler. With a few more days, We can definitely fulfill our promise to you. Kate nodded. I hate people who can't keep their word. The deal was to get me the treasure map before the engagement. If you can't do that, tomorrow's engagement will be cancelled. From then on, we'll have nothing to do with each other. Tyler said without any expression. Huh. Trent and Kate paled when they heard that. The situation in the Harmon family was very volatile as everyone was ready to pounce on each other to gain power. Without the Grant family's protection, they would lose the dominance they had just secured very soon. Tyler, it can't be cancelled. Kate was a little anxious. She quickly reassured Tyler. Please give us another chance. We can definitely get the treasure map. She finally got the chance to marry into an extremely wealthy family and become the wife of a general. She wouldn't give it up so easily. She'd do anything to defend her current status regardless of the cost. Talk is cheap. I want results. Tyler replied calmly. You still have tonight. Don't say I didn't warn you when you can't produce the treasure map before the engagement party tomorrow. Not a problem. We'll get to it right away. Kate nodded eagerly. She was left with no choice. She must gamble. All right, then. Don't disappoint me. Tyler waved his hand to dismiss them. Of course. Trent and Kate didn't hesitate and quickly left. After they left the study, Trent was a little distressed. He lamented, Kate, we only have tonight. How are we going to get the treasure map? They had tried so many ways but to no avail. It'd be more difficult now. Dad, we can't keep playing nice. It's time we bring out the real guns. If we miss this opportunity, we'll never live this down. Kate said with a vicious gaze. The real guns? What do you mean? Trent suddenly felt uneasy. We'll abduct and torture Uncle Hector. We'll force him to surrender the treasure map. Kate said, looking murderous. Torture? Trent frowned. He continued, Kate, he's your uncle and our family. It's a bad idea. Even though they had been in a feud, no one had crossed the line. They were brothers, after all. He didn't have the heart to actually kill them. Dad, we're running out of time. If we don't do it this way, we'll never get the treasure map. With a terrifying expression, Kate continued, every man for himself. We're this close to succeeding. We can't let all our efforts go in vain. The ends justify the means. This is our only chance. We have to give it all we've got. Trent fell silent when he heard that. After a while, he nodded heavily. It's for your sake and for the sake of our future. We'll have to disown our family. Trent had already lost his son. He didn't want to sacrifice his daughter's happiness and future as well. As such, he wouldn't mind being the bad guy, even if it meant betraying his brother. Dad, I knew you had it in you. Kate was very happy when Trent agreed to her plan. I believe we can solve any issue when we work together as father and daughter. Everything else would fall into place once she had convinced her father. Kate, I accept your idea on one condition. You can't put your uncle's life in danger. Trent gave her a stern warning. Don't worry, Dad. I'm only doing it for the treasure map. If Uncle Hector surrenders the map to us, I won't hurt him, of course, Kate promised immediately. However, if he refused to cooperate, they couldn't blame her if she decided to be inhumane. Very well, I feel a lot better with your guarantee. Trent nodded. He continued, anyway, we still have another problem. There's a very competent martial artist protecting Hector in secret. With our capabilities now, the chances of succeeding are slim. If they had more time, he could have hired a martial arts master to help them. But it was obviously too late now. Dad, I know of someone who should be able to help us, Kate said suddenly. Really? Who is it? Trent was a little curious. Vlad Grant, Kate said with a smile. Vlad? Isn't he a trust fund baby? How would he help us? Trent frowned slightly. Vlad might be Tyler's brother, but he wasn't as competent and powerful as Tyler. The brothers were as different as night and day. Dad, you underestimated him. Kate shook her head. She added, Vlad might not be like Tyler, but he's very well connected.